is it fair to have Super Bowl aspirations heading into this next season, given that there's a big time quarterback switch happening to someone who's played 3.5 games the last 2 years, and there could be a big time roster overhaul? What do you think?
Well, first and foremost, first time on since the end of the season. Just want to say that I'm grateful for the way in which this thing played out. It was obviously a heart-wrenching loss. I was there in Los Angeles in the stands. Was talking to Jack Hammer, who's going to be on my program later today at 3 p.m. He was there as well. I know you couldn't be there, but you were there in spirit. And so I've been processing this week. And this topic feels like more of that. Like, let's look forward. Let's look forward to 2022. Let's get past 2021 and any pain that's associated with that memory, and let's look forward. When you consider, is it fair to say the 49ers should have Super Bowl aspirations for 2022? For me, you have to look at the complete picture, and the complete picture starts with a roster that is very uncertain at this point. You have 31 players under contract, and that includes Jimmy Garoppolo. You have a 21-year-old quarterback with very limited experience who unfortunately didn't get very many reps in the 2021 season. I think the core of this team is good enough to have Super Bowl aspirations. But to me, it's too incomplete of a picture at this point to fairly attribute a Super Bowl roster to the San Francisco 49ers. To me, it's going to be highly dependent upon all these other topics that we hit today and what the 49ers do.
I think they better have Super Bowl aspirations. It seems to me that getting rid of Jimmy Garoppolo is because you can't win the big one with him. That's what you've decided. He came up small in those 2 fourth quarters, but you got real far. And to me, like, the Niners are just the Rams, but 2 years later. The Rams had a lot of success with Jared Goff. And it was kind of controversial to move on because he won a lot of games under Sean McVay. But they decided they're not going to win the big one with him. And they brought in another dude who had a ton of pressure. And the idea was, hey, Matthew, like, you've had a great career, but you need to win the Super Bowl. That's the expectation. We're getting rid of a guy who came close. You got to win it. And if he doesn't, that'll be disappointing. I think Trey Lance, while it may not be fair, that's the expectation. Like, dude.
Yeah.
Say what you want about Jimmy Garoppolo's skill set or what he does or doesn't do. The team got X amount of farness, got this far with him. And now, there are aspirations of the Super Bowl. I don't know if I think, look, as long as they have Deebo Samuel in his prime and a lot of these other players, they should probably be considered contenders.
So let me rephrase the question a little bit for you, because I think you're right. When you put it that way, the 49ers need to be vying for a Super Bowl, right? That has to be the end goal. In rephrasing it, for the 49er faithful that are listening right now, for those that may or may not have patience for the young gentleman who's going to be stepping in at quarterback, should they expect a Super Bowl caliber team, or will they be disappointed if they set their expectations that high?
Well, hold on, let me put it. I'm usually like the negative one, right? Saying the Niners aren't as good as you think they're going to be for these reasons. Well, I'm the guy that's been saying all year that their best quarterback's been on the bench.
Yeah.
That they're winning in spite of their starter, that they could be even better if Trey. I was saying this all year.
You've been very clear on that.
I'm going to stick with that. I think this team's going to be better next year. I think they're going to go farther next year. I think they should be in the Super Bowl right now with Jimmy Garoppolo. And that's on Kyle, that he didn't get Deebo more than one touch in the fourth quarter. He's going to have to live with that. They should be in the Super Bowl right now. They should be in it next year. I have very high expectations for Trey and this team. Yes, I do. And I don't root for the team. And I'm usually the one being like, it's the Niners. Let's pump the brakes.
Yeah. To me, again, it's just an incomplete. I'm not saying that they shouldn't have those expectations. I just have to hold off a little bit until I figure out how they fill out the rest of that roster.
Yeah, I'm not getting my emotions into it. I just think he's going to be good. If I'm wrong, then oh well. Really, the Niners are wrong, not me. I can just move on with my life. I don't get fired.
No. Amazingly.
Amazingly. It's the best part of YouTube. All right. So yeah, aspire for the stars.